glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh, by Hashem, Kakadash, double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of great millstone rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of everything elect. All right, we are the Hebrew Israelites. Out here once again, week in, week out, to prophesy the downfall of this man's kingdom, man. All right? And we're prophesying the downfall of this man's kingdom at the end of his kingdom. All right?
This is Acts chapter 1 and verse. Let's do Acts chapter 1 and verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, referring to Yahushua, saying, Lord, will you at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
Hey, read that again, Rebecca.
Yeah, this is Acts 1 and 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, will you at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel?
Because the disciples were in the spirit of haste. All right, like the brother had a page, GMS haste in his company. All right, so they were in haste for the downfall of the Roman Empire. Mm-hmm. They were in haste for the kingdom of heaven to be restored, man. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's the spirit you're supposed to be in. But that wasn't the time.
That's right.
That was not the time. Mm-hmm. Now we're in the time. All right, if you can get that in, you know the scripture? Now is our salvation nearer than what we believe. All right, now is that time. Now we're at the foot of that fourth beast, man. All right, the beast is mixed with iron and miry clay, or mixed clay, man. Which is a very low-grade empire, man. All right, a very, like you have different gemstones, right? You got high grade and you got low grade. All right, low grade is just it's cloudy. Mm-hmm. Like PLC said, diamonds all cloudy. It's not transparent. You know how much my shirt puts out? You know, it's not transparent, man. All right, that's the grade of this empire. Morally, economically, spiritually, physically. All right, the food is low grade. The so-called medicine is death. All right, the relationship, the union between a man and a woman has been destroyed. All right, we're at the end. And the 2/3 of our people and the rest of you buffoons out here in America, you're walking in you're blind in the daytime, man. You're groping in the fucking daytime, man. All right? All right? Because you have something called a distraction. The matrix is a distraction, all right, to distract you from the fact that you're in slavery, and we're at the end. All right? Well, like the disciple, going back to the main point of the disciples, actually, Yahushua will now at this time restore again the kingdom of heaven. Mm-hmm. But what did it say in the scriptures? There has to be a falling away first.
That's right.
All right, so prophecy has to be fulfilled. Mm-hmm. Like you can't rush the 4 seasons, summer, fall, winter, spring. You can't rush the prophecies, man. Okay? You can't rush the prophecies, man. But the most exciting times is now. Yeah. All right?
I got another one so we get that one. Bro.
Okay, come.
Hey, this is Matthew 24, verse 3. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privily, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world?
Yeah. Hey, what should be the sign of your coming? Now, don't get it wrong. But it says the end of the world. It's not talking about the end of the earth.
Right.
It's talking about the end of an age, an eon. It's talking about the end of an age, man. Going back to Daniel and the 4 beasts.
Yeah.
All right, the end of that 4th beast, man.
Just to back you up.
Yep.
Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. One generation passed away, and another generation come, but the earth abide forever.
Hey, but the earth abideth forever. So can you read that last scripture again?
Okay, you know from Matthew 24, right?
Yeah, come.
And this is back in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privily, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world?
What should be the sign of your coming and the end of the world? Mm-hmm. Going back to Acts, well, now with this time, was that Acts?
Yeah.
Well, now with this time, restore again the kingdom of heaven?
That's right.
That's the spirit we're supposed to be in, man.
That's right.
Not building some black fucking Wall Street. All right? Not what is the they having these type of marriages?
Looking for reparations.
Looking for reparations, man. So making an effort to figure out how to navigate in captivity, man. All right, a ruler class mentality is all about an overthrow, man.
Right.
Right. Oh, you got it. What?
It's 1 Peter 4:7. And it says, but the end of all things is at hand.
Yep.
Be therefore sober and watching to prayer.
But what does it mean to be sober, man? If somebody get Romans 13 chapter, all right? Because sober doesn't mean you stop drinking.
Right.
All right, sober basically means sober-minded.
Clear-minded.
You're clear-minded, man.
Yeah.
You see through the night. You
Yeah.
see through the day. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, we get to Romans 13 and 11.
Said, can I bring some more?
Yep, come.
And this is Matthew 1:6. Matthew chapter 6 and 22. The light of the body is the eye.
Yep.
If therefore your eye be single, your whole body shall be full of light.
Concentrate. Because we're really talking about your mind's eye.
Yep.
Your mind's eye is to see the focus, your pineal gland.
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision, man. All right, so that's what it means to be sober, man. All right, because you don't want to get caught in the distractions in Babylon in the time of Jacob's trouble, and you just out there, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
For example, Christianity, that's being drunken, man. So when the crap hits the fan, they're gonna be through, man.
Yeah. Finished.
Yep. That's why it says in Ezekiel, you have not built up the gaps. Basically, you have not built up a defense to prepare my people for the times to come, man.
Right.
The storm, man. Come on, man. All right, so through the spirit and power, you have us on side. All right, starting with starting with Elder Abba Business, King Masha, you know, Elder Yaiquab, High Priest Ariah. All right, a fort is being built within the body of Yahushua. The body shop, can you give me one too? A fort is being built within the body of Yahushua to defend us, so our mind can be built up for the judgment of the Yahushua. If a brother's holding Romans 13, all right.
That is Romans 13:11, and that knowing the time that now it's high time to wake out of sleep.
Yep.
For now our salvation is nearer than we believe.
Why did the Most High woke the majority of us up? Why did the Most High woke all of us up around the same time?
Yeah.
2007, 2008, 2010, 2012, 2015. All right, because something is about to happen.
That's right. That's right.
All right?
That's right.
But he's raising up a kingdom amid another kingdom. Okay? See, this thing is bigger than, you know, we're the black Hebrew Israelites, quote unquote, and this is our section in division in America.
Yeah.
You know, those are the Hebrew Israelites over there.
Right.
That's their temple over there.
Yeah.
No, it's about to be an overthrow, man. And it's gonna be executed through a military coup, mentioned in Daniel 2, mentioned in Daniel 7.
Right.
When Yahushua is gonna come, that mountain grave without hands, that's a military coup.
Hey, hence the King of Kings.
It's the King of Kings, man. All right?
Hey, this is Amos 9 and 11. And that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David.
Well, like Elder Pastor Bars, one of the topic of his videos, it was like, how can you raise up the tabernacle of David without David? So we've already had King David as the pioneer. So they call him pioneer.
Yeah.
All right, pioneer goes back to pun. All right, and on the chessboard you have the pun. Well, which is the first piece that makes the move? It's the pun. All right. So the Most High used him. All right, the forge of army. All right. Yeah, because that first soldier is that pun, but the army comes behind him. Now, in no way are we saying he's insignificant like a pun, but he's the one that made that first move on the Yahweh Shemashai's checkboard. You see? And then you have what? The army that comes behind him. What's that? His house, the tabernacle of David, man. It also has to be called a trailblazer. When you blaze the trail, you create a direction for the rest of the military behind you.
That's how you go.
They got another word too. Got a pioneer, trail, a frontier.
Yeah.
They're all those things. Elder Iquab, Elder Abba Bivens, our King Masha, these are pioneers, trailblazers, frontiers of our faith. Now, who's the man above them? Yahushua. That's why he's referred to what? It's the author and finisher of our faith. You see? All right, you got it, brother.
Back into Amos 9 and 11, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
I will build it as in the days of old. So what is the Most High doing? And he's forging a kingdom, all right, at the downfall of another kingdom. Your brother can look that scripture up in Ecclesiastes, might be around the 8th chapter. Well, that one too, but I was talking about better is the end of a thing than the beginning. All right, the Most High, this is not some spiritual Christian fucking kingdom. You know how they just metaphorically refer to as God's kingdom?
Yeah.
That's a TD Jakes BS. No, the Most High is a king, and he's forging a king on earth, a kingdom on earth, man. All right?
Like this is Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealing, injuries, and rich got that and rich got by deceit. Kingdom is translated from one people to another.
The kingdom is being translated, and you would never think in this so-called white man's social construct that the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans would snatch the kingdom from him. You would never think that we'll be the forerunners of a new kingdom. The one you call Elroy, Leroy, Marrero, all right? Those men that you call workers or modern-day slaves, those are actually going to be forerunners of the new kingdom, man.
That's why it makes sense now in the prophecy of Wisdom of Solomon that they should be amazed at the strangeness of salvation. The people that was like first fired, last hired, here they are starting over into a new kingdom with a new mindset.
Yeah. And then riches by deceit. That's going into the book of James, chapter 5, verse 1. The way you got it. Through deceit, through this system. Yeah, your credit-based system, which is part of this pit, you know?
Yep.
Hey, I got you, bro. This is Ecclesiasticus 11:5. Many kings have sat down. Many kings have sat down on the ground, and one that has never thought of has worn the crown.
Who's that one? It's Israel.
That's right.
Because in this setup, Israel was never thought of. Brother, forget Psalms 83, the hidden ones. We were never thought of.
Yeah.
Everybody, like in the wild, right? Somebody make this analogy. In the wild, when that beast, that apex predator gets weak, what happens? All the other animals start to attack it.
Yeah.
All right, because they know that he's gonna die. They'll take his spot.
Hyenas with the lion.
Yeah, then when you start drawing blood, see, America's drawing blood now. So all these other nations, they're really preparing to fight to be the next world power.
Yeah.
But what they don't know is that there's an underdog in this game that you need to think of, which really was the water boy to the big dog.
Yeah.
You know, the workers,
The nerve.
the nerve, the slaves. They're going to be the ones that run the next kingdom, man.
Oh, nation not desired.
Oh, nation not desired. But 3,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, during the time of King David, you couldn't fathom Caucasians running the world.
Hey, this is Second Ezra's chapter 15 and 46. And you, Asia, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon, and are the glory of her person.
Because Asia, they really are mimicking, or they go after the image of the beast.
Right.
So-called westernization.
Right.
All right, you even you can watch a documentary about Iran in the 70s, and everybody basically mimicked Americans in the 70s.
That's right.
So women went from having their head covered to wearing like two-piece bikinis and like skin-tight jeans. All right. But even furthermore, Japan, China, what do they do? They mimic their country after America. Westernization, women's liberation, McDonald's, you know, dating, all those things, man. Yep.
So you doing that?
Yep. Say the last
That
thing.
8 to 5.
Yep.
Model after America doing that 8 to 5.
Women going to work. All right. So you partook in this new world order. All right.
Yeah. And China really wants next. You know, they want to be in that stead, you know, just to, you know, continue. They want to have next after America's going down.
Well, they showed you that in the movie Jumper. Is it called Jumper? You know
Samuel Jackson,
yeah, I might be having the wrong word, but basically, he could loop to a different time era.
That's Jumper.
That's Jumper?
That's Jumper, yeah.
All right, and what happened was, the dude told him, go to China. When you jump to the future, he was like, don't go to France. Because it was basically they were basically implying that France is going to collapse just like America's going to collapse.
Yeah.
So what he did, he ended up looping or jumping to like China.
Right.
Because basically they implied that China was the next world power. You know? And that's the mindset of Moab. Like, we're going to be the next world power. That's what World War III is really all about on the physical level. You know, it's really about, okay, this world power is collapsed. We got next.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah, you got it, bro.
Like we call China. I watch them on the news. Like China got the most advanced technology. So I think everybody heading that way, trying to head that way.
I mean, you got to use common sense too. if we in the wild, right, and you got different beasts in the wild, and they're all apex predators. Now, when they see that one apex predator getting weak, they all thinking in their mind, we finna replace him. They all instinctively thinking that. Nations are just, that's why they were called beasts in the book of Daniel. They move just like beasts. All right, so when they see that main beast that got the throne getting weak, what are they thinking instinctively, man? Innately. We gonna take over. You know? You got it? Yeah, you got it.
This book of Psalm 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine the vain things?
And what's that vain thing, man?
NWO.
The NWO. Everybody got that Pringles can. You know? Everybody got it, man.
Or their own NWO.
Their own rendition of the NWO.
Right. Hey, Moab wants their own version of it. Esau is working on his version of it.
And ultimately, they have to all answer to the elites.
That's right.
So the elites,
That's right.
they really want to reduce the world's population to 500 million.
That's right.
Or from about what 8 billion, close to 8 billion, to 500 million. All right, that's that vague thing, man. All right. So that's like you said, the NWO, having the rest of the world's population with the Pringles can, because that's a sign that you own it.
That's right.
Because one thing that the elites are obsessed with is tracking. They want to monitor their slaves 24/7. All right, that's why they have cameras all in the cities, cameras all at work. Okay, but the main thing is they want to have a Pringles can inside of you, man. So they can have 24-hour control, because that's their nature, is control.
Yep. And this is Jeremiah 5:6. Wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them, and a wolf of the evenings shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities.
Now, I was just watching this show called Snowfall, and it's basically they sort of what made their own version of Free and Ricky Ross. But basically, they put, you know, it was directed by John Singleton. He died a couple years after he did the thing. But they basically showed how the CIA used Jake to push crack in these neighborhoods in America to fund the Nicaraguan war. But the point is, they were all under watch.
Right.
You see? They got these different agencies that actually watch your cities. Like I read in the article, it was 10,000 cameras in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's a leopard shall watch over your city, man.
London too.
Yep, London.
I think London and I want to say Chicago is right under London with you know, the camera surveillance.
And I forgot that agency, that team that the Apostle Aramla brought out, but it's like Angel something. But it's basically a surveillance team that monitors everything.
Right.
Because what do they want to do? They want to mimic, really replace the Most High.
That's all they want to do.
Yep. Yeah.
And if you know anything about a leopard will watch your city, right, for like a week, days at a time, just circling around until they can get the best advantage or the best angle to attack that prey.
And you want to show you, it still goes back to the nature of a hunter.
That's right.
It said he was a cunning hunter.
That's right.
So a good hunter is a patient hunter.
Yeah.
You know, like you brought out that beautiful point with the leopard, man.
Yeah.
You know, because it says in Proverbs, though, in Psalms, how they watch privately over the righteous.
That's right.
You know, they privily watch over you, man.
Privily, yeah.
And like I said, you got this surveillance team, man.
That's right.
All right, you got the census.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, you got it, bro.
Which they got from us.
Yep. That's right.
Back into the scripture, Jeremiah 5:6. Over their cities, everyone that go out there shall be torn in pieces, because their transgressions are many, and their backslidings are increased.
Yep. And basically, the Most High gave us over to this evil man.
That's right.
All right, but he wants to mimic the attributes of the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
And one of the attributes of the Heavenly Father is omniscience.
Yeah.
Omniscience means all knowing.
That's right.
You got omnipresent, all present.
Yeah.
So we have a surveillance team, all right, that basically captures the movement of all your citizens. We can't forget about China. You know, you know, that's you're mimicking the Most High, because what it says, the eyes of the Most High. Yo, you got it, brother.
This book of Ecclesiasticus 23:19. Such a man only fear the eyes of men, and know it not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun.
Now the brother showed me this show called Game of Thrones, and one of the kings in the kingdom, he was basically he called his spies birds. So you had people within his kingdom acting like regular carpenters, regular maids and butlers. But really, they were spies from another kingdom. All right, so the Most High has his eyes. You got chariots that you can actually see. You got angels that you can't see. You got angels unawares acting as regular men in the flesh. The prophets. So these are eyes they really have to report everything back to the king.
Yeah.
Yep.
And since you said all knowing, right?
Yep.
Ecclesiastes 19:20. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotence.
Yep. All the potency go back to power. Like you suffer from impotency. Your rod has no power. Yep.
Going back to Esau, he's an unfair version of the Most High. You go into Revelation 18 chapter, it goes into how the Most High remembered her iniquities. And what remember goes into like to recall, to make mention of. So the angels are nothing but messengers. So they report all the ill doings that's going on the earth, and they report it back to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Therefore, along with the prophets, when we are prophesying, we're crying out loud. So of course, those angels are hearing those cries. They carrying those vibrations right back to Yahweh Bashim Shai. So it's like on the left hand side, you see.
Might as well get that in Ezekiel 9 and mark them, crying aside for all abominations. Because we hadn't gotten rocked to sleep with the seduction of wickedness, with all these contrary lifestyles of the Most High. All these pride and all these offshoots of basically abominations of pride, such as LGBT. We're crying aside for that, man. Pedophilia, all right, bestiality, feminism, man, all right.
Somebody that crying, as it says, the Lord said, give them no rest. Give him no rest. So he make what Jerusalem a praise and earth.
Hey, going back to that parable, brother, behold that parable about that woman that kept begging that wicked king, and she got on his nerves. All right.
I got to put.
All right, go ahead, Amos.
Amos 9:8. Your brother talking about all the shit going. As Amos 9:8. Behold, the eyes of the Most High upon a sinful kingdom.
This is a sinful kingdom. But with Esau, and that's why it says in Ecclesiastes, and I don't mean to be all over the place, because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, the hearts of the sons of men is in them to do wickedly, such an effect. Because when you're doing something wrong on a job, you don't know there's cameras on you. This is facts. You don't because they could call you to the office and ask you that you do this, and you're like, nah. What you don't know is they already ran the cameras on you. And they just see what you about to say. But a lot of times you got cameras on you, you don't realize it. Same thing with the Most High. This man's been doing this wickedness so long, he didn't know that the Most High was hearing reports going back to him. He didn't know the Most High is viewing this man. All right?
And I will destroy it from off. I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
And how's that going to be manifested?
Nuclear destruction.
Yeah, that's right. Thermonuclear destruction. How can you destroy the kingdom off the face of the earth? Within 1 hour. Intercontinental ballistic missiles.
This means a false name.
Yep, that's right. Intercontinental. Okay. Isn't it a plane airline, a flight airline? Continental? Yeah. But it's intercontinental. Yeah, from one continent to the next, man. All right?
Save that I will not destroy the house of Jacob, said the Most High.
And that's going to be manifested in us, I'm willing to us ascending into chariots. Like the captain brought out, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom. His angels. Reporting everything, man. And the proof on that, Sodom and Gomorrah. The Most High actually had sent angels down here. It was Yahweh and angels. But they came to report the wickedness. And they were on their whole mission. And then they camped out, they lodged out with Lot. And it was so bad that the citizens of Sodom wanted to rape his angels. That was like you staying on Bourbon Street. It's like Lot staying on Bourbon Street, man. And some drunk Grecian athletes want to tell their way with him, man.
He was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
Because it reported back to him, man. It reported back to him.
So how much more those same reports going back in this the worst kingdom ever? The same reports.
This is the worst kingdom ever, man.
Hey, to prove your point, we went into it a couple of weeks ago. Daniel the 4th chapter, right? When it talks about how when it goes into the kingdoms, how each kingdom became inferior compared to the kingdom of Babylon.
I was about Daniel 2.
Daniel 2. Daniel 2 slash.
The statue goes to the head of gold.
Yeah.
Now we're in that time frame of the Mary clay.
Yeah.
The feet.
Yeah. The EU, which is EU, NATO, and America. And it shows you how all these countries have a goal, you know what I'm saying, of a new world order. That's why all these countries are classified in that image, within that image. You know?
Right.
Which is that statue.
It's Ezekiel 9:4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be found in the midst thereof.
Now, this is a different M-A-R-K. This is one of exemption. Because it's us, we cry and sigh for all the abominations, man.
Yeah.
Because a few weeks ago, we had some nigger women protesting for pro-abortion.
Yeah.
Right next to us, man.
So we in that spirit like Lot. You know, we're actually vexed in the spirit because of what's going on in America and throughout the 4 corners of the world.
Yeah.
Which is influenced by who? America. Through her wine. Wine in the and wine goes into what? America's love potion, man.
A philosophy.
Her philosophies, man.
And you spread the philosophies.
Right.
And it's good to say,
But how? How do you spread the philosophies? By having intercourse with them. Leaving your culture and becoming part of her shit.
to go a whoring.
Yeah.
And that's why it's what it says in Ecclesiastes, it's still right, and press not upon him to drink. You know, when you deal with a brother that don't drink, but in the spirit, you know, press not upon him to drink. But Babylon, she pushed the other nations to drink her philosophies, man. She seduced them. You know?
So what? Oh, my bad.
Now, so you know how we kept talking about in the spirit about how just Lot, he was vexed at the filthy conversation of wicked. Go to the word conversation goes into like the matter of life. You know, so the Most High, he's not really he's not satisfied with the conduct of life that's going on. It's wicked captivity. Now look at the minds of the people right now. Everybody's spiritually intoxicated off that Babylonian wine. Right. So when something's like that, you're intoxicated, it's poisonous. It's not beneficial for your well-being. Yeah. So the vibration going to the philosophies, the ideologies, nothing like that is beneficial on its righteousness with Yahweh.
And only the elect can spiritually detox from it. Being born again from America's philosophy, from America's love potion.
You just brought out a scripture that said be sober.
That's right.
So when you sober, you really in a detox phase now. You know? Yeah. You gotta go. Let me cut you off. You will hold us on the mic?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just.
Hey, justify the wicked. What that means? Justify is to make righteous. Meaning what? Esau ain't the bad man. Yep. Esau's not Esau. He's a white man. You know, everything Esau does is for our better improvement.
It ain't,
you know, that's justifying the wicked.
It ain't all white people.
Yeah, it ain't all white people.
Or you out here as a fucking nigga or a spick, and you protesting for the same shit that the same philosophies that he gave you.
That's right.
You protesting pro-rights, pro-choice. Yeah, right. You protesting LGBT. Yeah. But when we came here on a cargo slave ships, we wasn't about that shit.
Nah.
You know, even in the 1920s and 30s, Jake went on that Mo-Tip, man.
Nah.
You know, Jake went, Jake went on that pro-choice shit, man.
That's right.
That was what this nigga did, man. Because it said that the earth is defiled under the habits thereof. You messed up the natural way of life.
Right.
A man and a woman coming together and building a family through sex. That's a natural way of life.
That's the way of the Lord.
Yeah.
You destroyed the concept of family and left sex.
Yep.
You know?
And if you destroy a family unit, you have destroyed a nation.
Yep. And the way you know your philosophy can't uphold, your philosophy is shit. I challenge you niggas of the 12 tribes to take this American philosophy, go on some barren piece of land and build your empire off these Western philosophies, man. See how long that'll last. That feminism shit, that Mo shit, that pro-choice shit. See how long your kingdom will survive, man.
Which is nothing under the skies of do as you will. Do as you will. Satanism. Package in Christianity.
Yep.
My bad.
No, you got it. Hey, like I said, encapsulated through Christianity But that little cookie in the middle is Satanism, man. When you bite down hard enough, it's Satanism, man.
You got all them people with those different philosophies on one island, that barren island, like you stated. That's a big ball of confusion.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
The way I feel, the way I see it. Keisha, you can't light enough candles to save your empire, man. You know, you can't sage enough to save your empire, man.
Yeah, you sure ain't filling up that your cherry, that Nissan.
Yep. and you can't bring it with you. You got to build everything from scratch. That means you got to go out and tame some animals to make them your transportation. We'll see how much of a feminist you are, man.
Back in Proverbs chapter 17, verse 15, he that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Most High.
And he that justified the wicked and condemneth the just. Who are the just? The elect of the 12 tribes of Israel, man. All right, you condemn your own people when you denounce what do you call it? Redemption. When you renounce us being recompense for what Esau has done to us, man.
And 40 acres and a mule is not restoration.
That's inequity.
Right.
Equity goes back to equality.
Right.
You like at the scales? All right, so 40 acres in a mule in exchange for 400 years of hardcore slavery, that's inequity.
That's a false balance.
Yeah, which they have made $100 million off you slaves, which I'm talking about us as well. You know, only Yahweh Shah can save us. Only he can bring that restoration. Going into what? It means to restore or put a nation on the same level as it was once before.
And I believe that 100 million is in that time, right?
Yeah,
like 1800s.
Yeah.
So that's basically billions.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably, you know, if you bring it back to 2022,
you're right.
It's like billions of dollars, man.
Yeah.
We've made you billions of dollars because of free labor, man.
That's right, bro.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah,
and the only thing worse than you devils is you fucking niggas and you spicks on this tribe who uphold this devil.
Yeah, y'all can get it the worst.
Man, the only thing worse than your enemy is the people of your nation that uphold the enemy.
That's it, bro.
We are inhaling poison, pollutants.
Right.
And the only thing you nigga women are still pushing, you know, it ain't all white.
Right.
You know,
go vote.
Yeah, you go vote. Here your arteries clogged up, but you still think you can pray over a fucking hot dog, man. All right, man, you are worse than the ops, man.
Right. I gotta pick yourself.
When you go into condemn, bro, to go in condemn also goes into like disapprove of, man.
Yeah.
And they do, and like the people of this world, man, especially when it comes to these alphabet communities and you know people who just love wickedness, man. They disapprove of this gospel, man. They disapprove of this truth, man, because it sets standards, man. You know what I'm saying? And then it has repercussions to come with wickedness, man.
And it condemns your little new age philosophies you walk around this earth in.
That's right.
Do as thou wilt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it, bro.
This is how you know this is the extension of that fourth beast.
Yep.
Roman Empire.
Yep.
You know, like ancient Rome, how they would say, do as the Romans would do.
Yeah, yep. Whenever Rome do as Romans do.
Yeah.
Because there ain't nothing but Edomites walking around. And Edomites they're natural rebels. Esau's a natural rebel of the Most High. Going back to the garden, thou shalt not surely die.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody got their one sibling. They go back to the obedient siblings, like, you're not gonna really get in trouble. He gonna take your video game. So that's all you are. You're a badass child, but you came into power.
That's
all right,
it, bro.
Through the Grecians, through the Romans, and you spread the rebellion under the guise of freedom,
That's right.
liberty,
Democracy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's witchcraft.
and look at the results.
Right. Yeah.
We ain't gotta, when you argue, what's the point of going back and forth debating? Just look at the results.
Yeah.
Look at the average human in 2022.
Right.
Fat, tattoos, all type of diseases.
No morals.
No morals.
Nihilistic.
A fucking demon.
That's it.
The average American or the average Westerner is a demon.
Right.
You know? And they have many gods. They worship money.
Right.
They worship sex.
Right.
They worship glut. They worship, I'm sorry, brother.
Self.
They worship self.
Women.
And you know what and you know what? They worship sensation. I mean, just on top of what you said, they're sensationalists. The average American, they idolize sensation. Whether it's music, whether it's food, whether it's sex, whether it's subscribers. Yeah, because the dopamine you get from people subscribing to you.
Yeah.
But the average Westerner, they're a sensationalist, and sensationalism goes back to Rome.
Yeah.
That's another sect of people in their little cult, man.
And yeah, and just to break it down on a spiritual sense is what really a desires or craving of the flesh.
Yeah, it's basically.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is condemned in the so-called New Testament is what? They live after the flesh.
Yeah.
And you look up that word flesh, and for edification, the brother can bring that Bible flesh, we can just keep bringing it out. Because it goes to that beastly nature of man.
Right.
Yep.
And that's what the Romans were.
Yeah.
They were beastly, evil. They were beastly, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's heavy as a coin because what you're going into, you makes you meditate. The New Testament was really meant for Babylon the Great.
Yep.
That was really meant for this time now.
Yep.
You know, because it goes beyond just, you know, the 613. Like it goes deeper.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because you know you can keep the laws in Babylon and still fall victim to your vices because it's so readily available, man. Because Babylon the Great, they exalt and they amplify sensation, the things that arouse the flesh, man.
That's right.
And if you're not careful, even if you're in the truth, you can fall victim to that shit, man.
Hey, obey your thirst.
Obey your thirst, man. You know?
You gotta talk.
Yeah, come.
Read the scripture, man. 1 Peter 2:11.
This First Peter.
Yeah. 1 Peter 2:11.
This book, 1 Peter 2:11. And it says, "Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul."
Abstain means what? Have self-control. Be sober-minded. Have a clear head. Right? Use this world and don't abuse it. When you abuse something, you become a fucking addict. Right?
Yeah, and a slave to it.
And a slave to it. Right?
And now the king got you.
That's it.
If you are a slave to the king's meats,
Yeah.
you're a slave to the king.
Yeah. Because
Nope.
he has your mind.
He has your mind. If you're a slave to women, because he basically put women in your face butt naked.
Yeah.
And you know, you can look at women on the internet literally all day.
Yeah.
And chase women literally all day.
Yeah.
You can be a gluttoner all day as long as you got the money.
Yeah.
You know, you can be addicted to food, which is blood. You can be addicted to all things that arouse the flesh all day, and the king got you.
In the skies of the golden corral.
Buffet. Which really, we look at the word buffet, and it really goes back to like a refreshment.
Right.
If you look at the word buffet and the etymology, really a buffet is like a refreshment table. So you're at the marketplace, and this little refreshment table, put a little energy, you
That's
might
it.
go out.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Just like the restaurant goes into restore.
Restore. Then
Now you got Golden Corral restaurant.
Right. And then diet. Diet means how you regulate your life.
Yep.
You know?
And it's heavy. Just to make a little insert. A lot of the food that the Most High created, you don't even need a whole lot of it.
Like you don't.
You
But
know?
hey, Elder, Esau knows that. That's why when you go to these upscale restaurants, you pay a lot of money for it, but you get what? Portions. Small portions. You get one entree, 2 sides.
And you know, I've been, somebody's gonna say something. I've been like eating like little seeds and fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed I can't even eat a full plate after that. Like, you know, you eat from the earth, you eat the nuts and the seeds, which are really like refreshments. You know, then you turn around and eat a full meal, it's like, damn, I can only eat half for this.
That's it.
Because you put those, because the Most High deals with minerals in it,
Yeah.
and nutrients.
Yeah.
Once you put those proper nutrients, you don't have to savagely eat. It's going to sustain you. All that binge eating really comes from like mineral deficiencies,
And
man.
then your stomach shrinks too.
Yep.
That's the reason why when you go on a diet such as that, and then when you start eating more while and out like 2 or 3 weeks later, you be super full. Why? Because your diet, so like your stomach has adjusted to their previous style of eating.
That's why, hey, like the Zaquan said, man. All right, the real quality food, like the Esau serve you with, it's a small portion.
That's it, bro.
You know? Yep. There's no quality in that. There's no integrity in mass production.
No.
And there's no quality in mass production. You know? You got it, brother.
This is especially from 1 Peter 2, 2:11.
Strong's G 4559. Sarkikos. Sarkikos.
Keyword sasaka. Definition 1, fleshly, carnal. Keep going.
Hey, having the nature of flesh under the control of the animal appetites.
Hey, the animal appetite. Having the nature of flesh under the control of the animal appetite. Because if you take the laws, statutes, and commandments from us, we're basically brute beasts.
Yeah, that's what Winston said in John Wick. You know, the one guy that was he was over the safe area. The name of it right now. But yeah, basically, you take the laws away from man, we're like animals.
And that's why, to back up the Zaquan, when you go to Genesis, the 2nd chapter, that's how Adam became a living soul. Because he received the law, statutes, and the commandments, meaning what? He was spiritually civilized.
Yeah, because the other nations, they're already classified as beasts.
Right.
You know, we saw it there in the car, you know, speaking about the serpent, how the serpent, he was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Yeah.
Meaning out of all the nations, he was the most cunning when it came to deception, yet most crafty when it came to, you know, deception, witchcraft.
Yeah.
But you know, but they're lawless too. They weren't given the law, statutes, commandments, which classifies them as beasts and him as a beast.
Yeah.
You know?
Going back to the blue letter definition for an animal's appetite of a small hats. That's who really control the society.
Yeah.
It's authorized by Yahweh Shemashah.
Yeah.
What they classify the masses as. Going.
Yeah.
Cattle.
Yeah.
You know?
And those are the top warlocks and witches on earth. Amalek,
Amalek.
you know?
And then Yahushua classifies us as sheep, which is a form of cattle.
But you got the good shepherd. Yahweh Shai's the good shepherd.
And Amalek is what?
They the hireling.
The bad
By
sheep.
the good shepherd,
Yeah,
as we,
right.
by the good shepherd, Yahweh Shai, and we being a good sheep, you lead us to those green pastures, right?
Yep, that's right.
Going to the truth.
And one thing you do with your goyim, you feed them slop. You know, you give them food to fatten them to their death. And what is that? It's like the entertainment here,
Yeah.
man.
You give them enough to survive to keep your kingdom going.
It's like they did on the transatlantic
Is they on there, brother? Okay, I got something for you. I got two really. But I get this in Nahum first, then I'll jump to Revelation. All right, the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft.
It's America. Meaning what? She's in that top position, man. She leads these other nations into witchcraft.
Yeah, and it's mistress, the feminine way of master.
That's it.
Feminine way of saying master.
So America is the master when it comes to dealing in wickedness. That's why when you go to the book of Jeremiah, it talks about how, get that, the golden cup in his hand. Can I get that for you?
Yep, come. You know, we crossing it, bro.
Okay, come.
If I can say something real quick,
Let's
bro,
go ahead, Elder, go ahead.
which is also why America has to be destroyed. This place is classified as Babylon the Great,
Right,
the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. The mother referring to source.
right.
Is the source of that witchcraft. So that's why the Lord got to mainly destroy this place.
That's why America grooms these other nations. Go ahead, man.
You think about what a mother has, like breasts. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, you know, the
Nurture.
nations, they get,
They're nurtured.
And it's Jeremiah 51:7.
Right.
Babylon had been a golden cup.
Modern day America, golden cup. Gold means what? That top position. A cup means what? America's portion in its leadership, engineered by the Most High to lead these other nations into witchcraft.
So I think it also goes to like impact,
Mm.
like influence.
Yeah.
You know?
So America is influential.
Like I said, how the nations they were deceived by the wild and the wrath of fornication.
That's why everybody want to come over. From different nations.
They
wanna come
used
over.
to.
Used to. Well, wait, back me up.
Yeah.
That's why he now slide. That's why now he don't keep it home. That's why now he don't keep it home. You know what I'm saying? He moving all around the globe, pushing his diplomacy and everything to get everybody else caught up in this wicked well that he have amongst Babylon, man.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Back in Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken.
Right. So America has seduced these other nations.
Let's get that word drunken in the Hebrew.
Hey, this is all about influence, and I keep thinking about that movie, The Last Samurai. When one of the samurai was like, "You will not go a whoring after the West."
Right.
You know, that was a heavy statement because you rarely hear about America from an Eastern perspective. You know, we're in America, so we rarely hear about America in third person.
And it's crazy because it's the Eastern perspective
Yeah,
ultimately.
when you read about the judgment of America, it's talking about it from an Eastern standpoint.
Yeah.
So the lifestyle that's a norm for us is really looked at as whoredom and wickedness according to the Bible, man.
What was that? The Wolverine movie. You know, the one guy he kept asking that one woman how much, because how she was dressed.
Yeah, she was an American woman dressed like American clothing, But from the Eastern perspective, oh, she's selling pussy.
Yeah.
Just by default, man. You know?
So go to the word drunken, Jeremiah 51:7. It goes into Shakar. It says to be or become drunk or drunken, be intoxicated.
Be intoxicated with what? The philosophies, man.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, like they say, that's a new age little term. He's toxic, she's toxic.
Hey, what Dave Chappelle say when he was Samuel Jackson? They get you drunk.
Yeah.
America get you drunk.
Because in the way you know it's talking about a philosophy, what does it say in Isaiah? They are drunken but not with wine.
Yeah.
Showing that scripturally speaking, in the mindset of the East, when it says somebody is drunken, it's talking about spiritual drunken, man.
Bro.
You know?
Yeah, because your mind is, your spirit is not clear enough to make spiritual decisions.
Yep.
So one song, that girl is poison.
Yeah. That's just a big part of the smile.
We're supposed to learn the way of the heathen, man.
Yep.
According to the scriptures, man, because say what, their customs are vain.
Yep.
So I mean, if you find the way of this world, man, the way these devils do it, man, then you're going completely against the scriptures, man. You know, we don't supposed to be celebrating these pagan holidays, man. You know, we all have our own high holy days that's unheard of. According to our people, they don't talk about it, they don't celebrate it, unless you know what I'm saying, you're talking about the brothers in the truth. But other than that, man, they've been laced up ready already now for Christmas, Thanksgiving, you know, their birthday for a week.
You know the irony though? Because holidays go back to holy days.
Right.
Our holy days really is all about us triumphing over our enemies, man.
Yep.
You know, but Jake don't like that. But then when you research, when you research Esau Edom's holidays, really it's the same thing with him. It's about him triumphing over us, man. You know? But yeah, to stand to the point. All right, going back to Nahum 3 and 4 again, and then Revelation. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that set up nations.
Hey, well-favored harlot, because the whole world didn't go following after China within the 20th century, 21st century.
Yeah.
The whole world didn't go following after East Indians
Right.
within the 20th century. But the whole world went literally following after America. That's what you have to call immigration.
And pagan Roman held control over the whole world.
Yep, that's right.
No?
That's right.
Yeah. And what exact era was it when it was pretty much like the common thing in the world, like to come to America, like around the 50s?
Yeah,
Or so?
1950s.
Because everybody was saying like we're pretty much America, the land of milk and honey, like the streets paved with gold.
And yep. And I want to say even like the late 1800s.
Yeah.
New York, like that portal, because because like that whole East Coast area, because a lot of immigrants came in through the East
Yeah,
Coast.
that's from the start.
And the first thing they saw was the Statue of Liberty.
That's it.
Because you have a lot of Edomites that say, well, I'm not really Caucasian. My grandparents are immigrants from Germany or some shit. But it was going back to the scriptures where everybody was making an effort to come to the ports of America, man.
You know what proved that? You know, Godfather.
Yep.
Remember on the first one, those other nations kept trying to come over here and immigrate?
Yep. Damn.
That's where do you think Italians come from? The Sicilians come from, and the Irish come from. They were immigrants coming here.
Yeah.
That was like based in like the 1920s.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
But you got all these different boroughs of people. It ain't by coincidence. This that melting pot.
Yep. This what's called the mingle people.
Yep, that's it. That set up nations through her whoredoms.
But what does it mean, sell of nations, man? You basically you buy them over through your philosophies, through that seductive. That's why the scripture says, beauty is vain, favor is deceitful. All right, and it says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman, desire not for pleasure. Because how did America? She promoted herself, man, as the land of the free. People thought it was streets paved with gold. They thought it was a land of milk and honey. All right, but how she promoted herself. You know how you go, women go on social media to get them filters, and they sell. They basically sell buy over men.
That's witchcraft.
It's witchcraft, man. America had filters, and she was attracting different nations, man.
And basically to devour souls.
Yep.
Like it's like pretty much the nation sold out. Like, you know, they cast away their own customs.
Yep.
Let's stick to the point. It says, and families through her witchcrafts.
Yep. And families through her witchcraft.
Physical slavery.
Yep.
Yep.
And we know what those witchcrafts are now: Christianity, democracy. You know, basically Western thought. Because Westernization goes back to that Hellenization, which ultimately goes back to Satanism.
Image of the beast.
Yep, do as thou wilt. All right.
Revelation 18 and 13. and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men.
Hey, you got me, bro. Hey, no, that's the spirit.
This is book of, dude, bro. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
That's the transatlantic slave trade, man. You know, you can't make it up. And that shows you really everyone was involved. All nations were involved, man. That's called the transatlantic or a triangular trade, but really it was worldwide, man. And that's some hidden history. But it says they made merry and they sent gifts one to another. We were the gifts. You know, being sent off, man, back and forth. You know, action blocks. You know, and it was us. We were the cargo, human cargo, man.
Right.
You know, we built this city. But so slaves and souls of men is also literal. You can apply it in the spirit. You know, because Babylon has our people's minds. Like what Morpheus say? Neo, the Matrix has you. Well, you know, the Matrix got our people. You know, this system. You know, because it's like it's a simulation in a way, man. But it's real. That's the thing about it. It's real. This place got our people's minds, man. But, you know, through the spirit of our Lord, man, hey, Yahweh Shah has a solution. And that solution is America being destroyed, man, which is in the same chapter the bro was reading from, man. You know, in Revelation 18. You know, you got it.
This book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall sing gifts.
They're happy. Get that out of Lamentations, Alas, for this is the day we're looking for. Yeah, get that.
And shall sing gifts one to another.
Right, so we were the gifts, right? This is how America became a conglomerate, a major empire.
Because these two prophets,
okay, now, this is a representation of what? The northern and the southern kingdom. Go ahead.
Tormented them that dwell on the earth.
He gave them hell, right? Under the rulership of who? King David, right? Now, get Deuteronomy. Go ahead, my bad. You do it, brother. All right, now get the Lamentations.
Lamentations 2 and 15. Right. All that pass by clap their hands at thee.
Right, meaning what? They're happy. They're excited. Why? Because we're at the bottom and now they're at the top. Right? See, these other nations are joint heirs with Esau. Right? Going into the prophecy in the book of Lazarus, how these dogs came and licked the wounds, right, of Lazarus, right? Which what they benefit off the curses. Yeah. Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 36 and 2. Thus said the Lord, power be caused the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession.
Right, so who's the major of Esau? The ancient high places. And you can really equate what? The world in that concept. Right, yeah. And they have our headquarters, which is the land of Israel.
Yeah, because that's the ancient high places. They happy they got our land.
That's right.
It's going back to what's that? The Balfour Declaration.
That's it.
Took our land.
That's it.
You know.
That's
So you know, for aha goes to Hayakah, and it says imitating a joy.
Right, this is the joy. They're on top now. Going into what? That hidden agenda, Psalms the 83rd chapter.
Yep.
Right?
It says glorifying over an enemy's misfortune.
Right, so over our misfortune. Why? Because we broke the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, and therefore they are in the time of reaping within Esau's rulership. Right? Go ahead. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Back in Lamentations 2 and 15. All that passed by clapped their hands at thee,
right,
and hissed and wagged their head at the daughter of Jerusalem,
right,
saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty?
And this is what these heathens been waiting on. Their biggest moment ever. Right? Go ahead.
The joy of the whole earth.
Right, and we are the joy of the entire earth. And wait till we regain rulership through our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah. Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 16, starting at verse
You got something?
19. There was a certain rich man. No, it's not. Start at 20.
All right, you hold that, finish that up.
Okay, verse 16, back in Lamentations, the 2nd chapter.
Right.
All thy enemies have opened their mouth against me.
Right.
They hiss and gnash their teeth.
Right.
They say, we'll swallow her up. Certainly this is the day that we look for.
Right, this is the day, right? And guess what? This is our last time being in captivity ever, right? That's it.
It says, thy punishment is accomplished.
Yeah.
The daughter of Jerusalem.
And get Lamentations 4:21. Go ahead, man.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 16, starting at verse 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus.
Now, Lazarus is a representation of the rich man, right? Salakia. Lazarus is a representation of the nation of Israel. Say it, man. So what?
You know, the
Yeah,
poor nation of
that's right, bro. Yeah, being afflicted, right? The scum, the so-called scum of earth. So again, Lazarus is a representation of the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
which was laid at his gate full of sores and desired to be fed.
So the swords is a representation of what? These curses spoken of in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, starting at the 15th verse all the way to 68. Go ahead.
To be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
Meaning what? Going and slaving for Esau to receive their daily bread. Right? Go ahead.
Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
These other nations came and licked our swords, meaning what? They benefit of the curses, right? That's the reason why you have Chinatown, or not Chinatown, but Chinese restaurants in our neighborhoods. That's the reason why in our neighborhoods you got Elam running the gas stations, or Moab selling weed to our women.
Yeah, African braised chicken wings.
Yeah, some breezy ass shit. I ain't never like that shit. Go ahead, bro.
7-Eleven, Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, chicken been out all day.
Isaiah 1:6. It says, from the sole of the foot even to the head, there's no soundness in it, but wounds.
Hey, read that again, bro.
Isaiah 1:6.
Right.
From the sole of the foot even unto the head.
So from Judah all the way down to Issachar, right? Which includes all the 12 tribes. Go ahead.
There is no soundness in it.
Meaning what? They don't have the spirit, right? That's why they make carnal decisions.
It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding what makes us perfect with the spirit.
That's it.
And what makes us complete,
Okay.
whole.
That's it.
This is our spiritual whole foods.
That's it.
And it says,
That's spiritual whole foods. Hey, so eat Yahweh Shah. Go
it
ahead.
says there's no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores.
Meaning what? These curses. The activation of these curses, man. Right? Because at this time frame, they're still bleeding. But the hemorrhaging or the blood is not coming out so bad. Why? Because we're at the end of Esau's captivity. So literally, Yahweh, through Yahweh Shah, is placing band-aids on our souls.
What did Yahweh Shah say in Malachi 4th chapter? He's going to come back with healing in his wings.
That's right. That's right.
So he's going to heal us very soon.
That's right. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
Right, so at this time frame, we can associate this scripture with who? Esau Edom. And that shows the power of the Most High because he took the bases of men and made them a king or kings. Right? They're the blessed ones within their kings. So don't get upset when Esau is doing his thing. He's supposed to. It's his rulership. Yeah, envy not your oppressor, man. So he's supposed to be able to just thrive and have the biggest houses and drive the baddest cars and have the coldest women. Well, he's within his blessings. That's his portion. And that would make the Most High unfair if he didn't do that. But guess what? Look how Jake still thrived in Esau's rulership. Although they sell out, you know what I'm saying? But you still can't outrun the curses. Go ahead, bro.
My boots got pulled over in what, Georgia?
Yeah. What he say, man, you can murder. I moved, y'all can live.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high,
Right.
and thou shall come down very low.
Right, so meaning what? We came down very low, meaning what? As slaves, right? As slaves. Why? Because we committed spiritual fornication, man. And that's one of the curses, which is going into indignation, the righteous anger of Yahweh Hashem. All right, we agreed to do this. Since you broke that agreement,
Yep.
I'm hitting your hand, such as slavery, such as your woman hate you, such as your kids despising you, right? Go ahead.
And thou shalt come down very low.
Right.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to
Through
him.
this credit-based system, right? Through this credit-based system. Hey, you have to go to Esau for everything, right?
Can I
Come
say
on,
something?
man.
Hey, it's heavy you said the credit-based system, because even before then, right after slavery, they had what? Sharecropping.
Mhm.
But what was sharecropping? It was, you do the exact same thing you did in slavery, but I'm going to lend you my land.
Right.
I'm going to lend you my mural
Right.
and my tools. Then by the end of the season, when it's time for me to pay you, well, I got to charge you because I lended you my land.
That's it.
And then I'm going to tax you on that to the point where you're a debt slave.
That's
That's
right.
basically still going on.
That's right.
Yep, it's exactly.
Hey, subdivisions.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, boss.
No, I'm talking about yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, cause I'm sorry, brother. Me and you watched that movie together. It was based in Mississippi. It was about 5 years ago we watched it. And they had Mary J. Blige as like the mother or something.
Oh yeah.
The Netflix movie. But I think they were sharecropping on Edomite's land. And that was like 20th century America.
Something mud.
Mississippi mud.
No, it's something. It's mud in though. It ain't Mississippi mud. I know what you're talking about though.
It was. I think it was in Greenville, Mississippi,
Yeah,
or something like
yeah.
that. But that actually happened. Cause a lot of Jake that got out of slavery, and they skill was sharecropping.
Yeah.
But since you free now you can borrow my land.
Right.
And mudbound at the
Yeah.
bottom. You can borrow my land, but when it's time for me to pay you, I gotta charge you for everything that you use, and that was my property.
Fuck you, pay me.
Yep.
Fuck you, pay me, man.
Yeah.
That's some good fellas, man.
Gun.
You know?
He shall be the head, and
Right.
thou shalt be the
So
tail.
he shall be in control, right? And you're going to be at the bottom, which is going into what? Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, right?
Back in the book of Luke.
It's like, can I
Go
build, bro?
ahead, please.
You know, and just to add on to what the brother's saying, this proves that we got to be Lazarus in the parable the brother reading
That's
on,
it.
because Lazarus, that's another way of saying Eliezer, which in the Hebrew is Allah Izar, which means he whom God will help. You Edomites don't fucking need help, man. You got everything. We need help.
So why would Yahushua come and save you and you're already saved?
Yep.
Referring to your kingdom. They're already saved, right?
Yeah, and also, because the gospel is spiritual, the Lord literally raised up a man by the name of Lazarus.
Yeah.
That represented us,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
He, the awakening of the resurrection of the 12 tribes, man.
I got a quick one for what you just said. Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like
Like, this is talking about Jacob's trouble, man.
Yep.
Jacob fucking trouble. And that's literal. Go ahead.
It is even the
Yeah.
it is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But
Hey, and also, when you analyze trouble in the Hebrew, it's straight. S-T-R-A-I-T. Meaning what? The Most High is going to use Esau in different situations, and he's going to put us in a straitjacket. And only the Most High is going to be able to get us out. Because if a person puts you in a straitjacket, your hands is like this. They zip it up, or they tie it up from the back. So the Most High is going to put us in it. The Most High is going to take us out of it.
One way in, one way out.
One way in, one way out. That's why Jacob's trouble going into strait, which also means a position of difficulty, man.
And this is what I'm about to read is about to go right into that name you just broke down. And it says, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Hey, the elect shall be saved. Now, you got to give me 2 Ezra 16 chapter.
Man, brother.
You got to jump to 2 Ezra 16.
2/3 are gonna be saved out of it.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
Jake about to get fucked up. Especially you women. You women, man, you Israelite women, primarily the black women. Me and the brother were talking in the car, man. Y'all in a catatonic, y'all in a sunken place. You know that movie, y'all seen that? Remember that movie, Get Out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're in the sunken place, man. We're in the sunken idea. Y'all so gone and so detached from reality. All that gotta happen is the damn lights gotta go out. A blackout. And that's automatic reality. You know, guess what? You got all kind of foods stacked in your freezer.
Yeah.
But once the lights go out, the power grid, they kill the power grid. What's gonna happen? All your food, all that shit gonna go bad. And then you ain't gonna be able to cook it. Okay? And then when the grid goes out, the water system gets contaminated. So you're even gonna be able to drink the tap water. You probably might not be able to drink the tap water in your refrigerator, in your sink.
Yeah.
That's why people stacking waters up. That's the only thing you can do. But in your ass, that's when the wilderness skills come in. You know how to camp out. You know how to maybe put some shit on the grill and cook it up. But most of the people don't know how to do that. Yeah. All they know is this is bullshit. Technology and yeah, phones. They walk the street, man. They looking at the lips, man. So what's gonna fucking happen, man? It's gonna be bad, Jacob. Man, Esau, man, they think Esau fucking with them now. When the cops are rolling up on Jake all over the country, harassing them, fucking with him, that's nothing compared to what they're gonna really do.
What point Apostle made, Kevin Samuels, he had like a little video he went into. He talking to a living woman. He was asking her if a society collapses, there's no running water. What you do? She said she wants to get the water in front of her. You're gonna die. I said like you can't.
See, Kevin Samuels, the Lord used them to show you, and he would always say, he looked at the camera when a woman, they say he was putting women down. No, he wasn't. He was just letting them. He was just pretty much giving them a platform to show how retarded they are. I'm the daddy, bitch. Okay, you dumb bitch. Don't you know that you can't drink that? That's salt water.
Right. It's gonna dehydrate.
Brother, you're gonna drop dead.
That's it. That's it.
But yo, like, see, when I was growing up, like even the women back then had some form of sense. Remember these new GMO baby. Yo, don't walk in the street. Why? You're gonna get hit by a car. Like they're on a level they don't like, bro. They're gone. Well, Kevin Samuels showed you just how gone and retarded these women are.
Yeah, because them type of women are died off. Like if you're like 40, 50, 60 years old,
yeah.
Hey, that generation is gone, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
It was one of these survival shows, man, and the women was complaining with the men, so they separated. And they had the women doing their thing and the men doing their thing. The men was able to get a fire going and started, you know what I'm saying, kept it going, they purified their water. The women, man, most of them had to get airlifted out of there from dehydration, man. You know, because they didn't know what the hell they was doing.
But all these black, all these psychotic, these feminist black, that's a demon. See, and then when everything shuts down and there's no power, no running water, all these women, like this one psychotic black bitch that, it wasn't Kevin Samuels, it was the other dude that's down with Kevin Samuels, the light-skinned dude, he got a big, young-looking dude. He put up a video of this one psychotic black bitch, you know, a foxy brown-looking type bitch, you know, and she with the brother, they are really sick and demonic in the head. She made the argument, look, men don't, look, women, that's what we do. You need your men, okay, you know. You look at the animal species, all you need for us to procreate. Women, we do this, they believe like lesbian, feminist, psychotic. But then when the lights go out, that perm, that wig, that weave, them come on, like all those cosmetics that it takes for these women. Remember on the Kevin Samuels show, he's a, what is it, 1 to 10, what he looks like? I'm some fat bitch or even a skinny bitch. How the fuck are you a fucking, how the hell are you a 10, right? And then some of them will say, well, I consider myself, I'll say I'm a 6. But once I hook myself up, I'm a 6 or 7. But you gotta hook yourself up to have the appearance of being a 6 or a 7. You know what I mean? But like he said, a woman that's a beautiful woman, don't have none of that shit. A 10 is naturally beautiful. You see what I'm saying? A 10 is naturally beautiful. But it shows you the psychotic, demented, delusional behavior. We got hug and kiss later. Shalom. Shalom. We got hug and kiss later, man. It work on the battlefield out here, man. Stay focused. All right? We're doing that hugging and kissing later. So to speak. Shalom. But go ahead, man.
This is Proverbs 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces him.
That's what we're talking about, man. How gone Jake is. And then, like I said, you got this whole nation of goddamn feminist women raising these so-called young boys, and that's why we got these little bugged out, weak-ass GMO baby men. You know? And they're totally gonna And once Esau killed them power grids and shit, they're gonna do that again. Because they said that the luminaries said once the lights go out again, that's it, man. That movie that we was watching a few weeks ago out in Texas, Blackout. I thought it was a real shit, but I mean that happened in New York a few years back. The lights went out, I mean women, there was no feminist, all that talk, all that proudness, man. Because you ain't gonna be able to go get your nails done. You ain't gonna be able to wear them fucking cum brothers on your eyes. All the cosmetics, like all the cosmetics that it take for them to even look somewhat. Some of them, even with all that crap on, they still look like Satan. You know what I mean? It's true, man. What are they gonna fucking do, man? All the Taco Bueno and KFC and Popeyes gonna be, all them joints gonna be closed. All the men civilized the world and domesticated the world so that these stupid hoes can live comfortable, so they can talk shit. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, 2 points. Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, you women that are at ease.
That's right.
Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Hey, you know, you careless daughters, but men created a world in which you could be careless.
Well, yeah, careless, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't be careless outside the power grid.
Listen, you can't be a feminist in the middle of the fucking woods.
That's right. That's right.
All them feminist bitches, those are all city bitches.
Yep.
You notice, if you do have certain women that are kind of realistic women, that are kind of rugged, those are women that live out in the country.
Yep, that's right.
All them feminist bitches, I take you up to fucking hell. I take you up to upstate New York. There's still mountainous regions. I take them to Pennsylvania. Okay? I take you to fucking up in the mountains in Pennsylvania. You're gonna freak the fuck out. You understand what I'm saying? I take you out to the Everglades in Florida. What you gonna do?
Nah,
You get eaten by a fucking alligator. Right? You know what I mean? I take you out somewhere where there's no, what you call these, the street lights.
Yep.
When the lights go out, the lights go out. Meaning when the sun go down. There's no stores, there's no corner store. Okay, anybody out there selling weed, you know, your drugs that your intoxicants that you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, man, I gotta buy some weed. And there ain't no weed, man, house you can run to a couple of blocks up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just you and whatever creatures are out in that fucking forest. See what I'm saying? If a bear come upon you, what you gonna do? There's other things than bears out there. You know? Snakes, wolves, coyotes. You know what I mean?
A lot of people like cockroaches.
Yeah.
They freak out when they see bugs.
You know, raccoons, which are not bats. So what kind of creatures out there? What the fuck you gonna do, man? A fucking raccoon come out, man, and decide to prance upon you. You out in his turf. Look at here, man.
You know that they got YouTube clips on there when a raccoon get in the frenzy. It ain't nothing nice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna read that again about the show.
Yeah, man, I saw a giant raccoon one time. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech.
Yeah, man, it was up in Connecticut. Me and my ex-woman, it was in the city, and he was out during the day. So I tell you, he probably was at rabies or something.
Yeah.
This motherfucker was a huge, he was up in that tree. He looked like a bear cub.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was a raccoon. Mutant creep, man. The damn thing looked like a bear cub, man. He was up in the damn tree. I said, hey, yeah, let's just go inside, man. You got one woman.
Then you in a territory when you in the woods.
No, but no, that's wasn't even in the woods. Right? These creatures are be coming out into the cities now. Bears are rolling up in people's houses, right up in New Jersey, and up in the Northeast, up in New Jersey, certain so-called, what you call it, the suburbs.
Yeah.
Fucking bears are just rolling out into people's houses now, looking for food, trash, and shit.
Verse 10. Oh,
Okay, you read yours.
all right, Isaiah 32.
Don't say nothing. Look.
Isaiah 32:10.
But they think they can get a high value man. Something like that. I can get a man making 6 figures. That's what my man Samuel was telling you. They through. Look at the man. They through. Look at that, bro.
Many days and
Brothers
years.
avoid shit like that. I hope to God none of y'all ain't dealing with no things that look like that. And you all, man, look to make some adjustments. Come on, man, you gotta think highly of yourself. Do better. And that thing, yeah, man.
Isaiah 32:10. Many days and years, many,
Yeah, read.
many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail.
See, I'm saying they walking that fat, nasty ass. Like my man Kevin saying, this is for the big girls.
Yeah.
Taco Bueno, KFC. Remember the one video he did for the big girls? Popeyes.
Hey, where it says the
That
vintage shall
crazy
fail.
dance. He had demons on. But it was true, man. Okay.
It said, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come.
Popeyes.
Like the EBT, you know, different agencies for women to get like money and food and grants. You know, like the $500, $600, $700 EBT food stamp card. The vintage shall fail.
All that shit.
Yeah.
They're gonna cut Section 8.
Yep.
They're gonna cut food stamps. They're gonna cut child support too.
Yep.
Oh, they're gonna stop that too.
Yep.
Watch. They're gonna tell you, no, you ain't getting no more child support, bitch. That's the one I can't wait for, boy. You know what I'm saying? That child support shit is, these wicked, primarily black women have used that to totally try to destroy Jacob, her and Esau. I don't give a fuck. You ain't got a job, you better get one. Or you have a job, you working, well, you better get another job, nigga. Get 2 jobs then, nigga. So you working just to pay some fucking things like that. Like them things we looking at to pay something like that. So she can stuff her fucking fat face and get come umbrellas and weave and shit. You paying for that. You know what I'm saying? But that's why, hey man, you gotta be careful where you put your rod, you put your seed. Telling you, man, you never know. Be careful where you put your seed. You don't know what's going through. And then the kid is gonna be a GMO weirdo bug out. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna to a point you don't want nothing to do with your own kid. Yeah, man. Why not? Because really, if you have a kid and the kid is a little monster, according to the scriptures, you're supposed to put her to death or her. You're supposed to kill their ass.
Stone.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a nice stone and crack their skull wide open. It's okay. You can have another one. You know? You got a kid, never Bill Cosby, I'm your father, I put you in this world, I'll take you out. If you have a reprobate child, they're supposed to be put to death. Okay? And then you just start all over again. You know what I mean? But that's going to happen, man.
Yep, 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, and starting at verse 33, it says, the virgins shall mourn having no bridegroom.
Oh yeah, I like that scripture.
It says, the woman shall mourn having no husbands, their daughters shall mourn having
What the fuck was all that for? Spiritual.
Yeah.
See, all that stupid shit like that, it's psychotic behavior. People can just get away with here in America, and they can just get away with their behavior because there's no consequence. Now if a cop would have seen them, and the cop would have followed them and got them, pulled them over, fucked them up, and like, oh, y'all, you see what they doing? Yeah, brother, it's yours.
Salaki, again, it says 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 32. Salaki, verse 33, the virgins shall mourn having no bridegrooms, women shall mourn having no husbands, their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. Yeah, going into the Lord taking away the teachers. You know, the vintage failing. Because who really capitalized off of Esau? Esau's goddamn triumph, man. It was really Eve. You know, that's who was thrust into the forefront of his rebellion. Eve. That's the simple. Eve is the physical manifestation of the rebellion of Esau. When we really examine it, because she's at the front lines of resistance. She's at the front lines of being out of order. There's nothing more than capturing the very essence of Esau's rebellion. Eve is the trophy for that nigga.
She embodies it.
Yeah, she embodies it. Yeah, she's a physical, she's the extension of that nigga's rebellion. You know, that's why the spirit be heavy on the apostle to call out that plague. You know, all, and that's the apostle, that's the overall, you know, just the men who Yahweh shall send forth. We got our target on Eve too. You're not gonna get away, man, because again, you is a replica of Esau bullshit, man. Like the apostle going into motherfucker Ryan by see, we about order. You want the cops to be. He been plenty of times like, where the cops at, man? We the cops right here. Found this nigga, man. The Romans 13. So you know. You know. Yeah. So yeah, America. Yeah. America is the Lord got America in his sights, man, in his crosshairs. Because this motherfucker is a manifestation. This motherfucker represents rebellion and resistance. Yep. Come on, yeah, we'll go around. Yeah, come on.
It's Proverbs 6:24. Basically going to what's possible to bring it out. You know, it says to keep thee from an evil woman. Like he was just pointing across the street. It was like, brother, stay away from that type of energy, right? You know?
And can I see the add to what brother just said? Like overall, America is referred to as a woman, man. This is a matriarchal society, you know. From the, so you know what I would bring this up? Block, y'all. You know, if you pay attention, right? You ever go to the Middle East, you see pictures and shit of Saddam. Remember Ayatollah back in the day? They be told the pictures. They was a symbol of masculine. But over here, right? You see, goddamn a beauty supply. If you paying attention, it'd be a nigga woman on a big beauty supply billboard.
Yeah. Hey,
that's it. Yeah, you got it.
No, it's a new thing now. I'm seeing with Jake. You know, Jake Man. They walking around with like the necklaces like the portrait of a woman.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I've been seeing it lately.
Oh.
I think they got a little portrait of a woman, like a little thing, you know.
Oh.
You know,
they ready for the taking, like.
I mean, these niggas, man, these faggot GMO baby, weak ass, feminine dudes, but they were raised up by black women, so that's why they like that. See, because the white man did that on purpose. Back in the 70s, they started putting the black man out the house. Okay, all the shit Kevin Samuels said he really got from us. We've been talking about this for over 20 years. You know, they started the welfare program in the 70s, and you know, they told the woman you could be independent, even though you might not be fucking a rich bitch, you could be a poor bitch, but still be independent. We'll give you welfare, we'll give you food stamps, but that nigga can't be in the house.
Those are war tactics.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just going.
Hey, that's basically what the serpent did with Eve.
Yeah. Yeah. Get that nigga out the house. With the Section 8, you can't have a man living with you. Otherwise, they come and every so often to investigate whether you got a man living with you. If they find out, you can lose your Section 8 or they'll cut your benefits. Or they'll make it where you got to start paying half the rent. Yeah. They'll penalize you if they find out you got a man living with you.
They showed that in the movie Claudine, didn't they?
Yeah, Claudine. I always bring that up. That's from the 70s. For you brothers that are old enough, y'all remember that movie from the 70s. Yeah, they showed you that in that movie.
My baby mama dropped me off my child support, and they tried to force her to keep me on.
Yeah.
Just exactly saying what the apostle was saying. Like if you take them off, you're gonna have to. Who's gonna take care of Medicaid? Who's gonna do this and do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he gotta go to the dentist. But if he gets sick,
hey, the next verse right here, it says Proverbs 6:25. It says, "Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by, and it's the point, for by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, man. And the adulteress will hunt for the precious life, man. She wants everything you got. You have a job, you could be making 15, 16 hours. When you lucky, you're taking $100 home. Man.
Yeah, man. How you supposed to live?
Exactly.
How you supposed to pay your fucking bills and rent? They what they tell you in there? I don't care. I heard them tell them, look, dude in there. Yeah, but look, homeboy, go out and hit those streets. One of them motherfuckers crackers, the fucking cracker in there, right? So you telling this man go out and sell drugs? We don't care. But if you go out and sell drugs, you're gonna arrest him for selling drugs.
And that's why wisdom and experience is so important in these last days. You know, because the scripture says many have gone out of their wits for women, but in all actuality, the main woman that we should be chasing is this one right here. You know, but through trials and tribulations and life experiences in itself, you learn how to deal with women.
That's right.
You learn how to deal with one.
When we get out here, but Esau's the puppet man. When we get out here on these devils, we're gonna twist their heads around, and we're gonna take the nigga woman and twist her fucking head. You know, you open up a bottle of something like a soda bottle. You know, no, not that. You know, like the twist cap soda bottle. Open it up and soda bottle. You know, just take up and just twist their fucking heads off like a bottle cap. Esau and the nigga woman, we're gonna do it, man. Through the power of Yahweh, shot. They gotta pay.
All right, one more proverb.
They're gonna be decimated. You read Isaiah 32:9 earlier. You were breaking that down, right? After the history, you should go back to that. And go and let the brother finish and go back. Then we're talking about it.
All right. One more. Proverbs 7:4, backing up with Don said, it says, said to wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger with flattery with her words. You know, like the brother say, this is our wife. This is our woman. This is the lady that we supposed to be trying to please. Instead of spending all your paycheck for one night to impress a chick, still don't get the numbers, still don't score. Hey man, you cash it all in for this.
You dumb simp ass niggas, man. Dudes like the simp. They'll go to one of these fucking clubs or something out here tonight or tomorrow night, right? And
broke tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you got paid. You know you fucking probably working at fucking Wendy's or whatever, wherever you working, right? You might make $300 a week, right? Maybe, right? Okay, you get a little check. You know, so-called blue collar, whatever you got to do, you know you're only making $300 a week, but you'll go up in the bar and pop bottles. You were on your thirsty leech ass homeboys. Yeah, go on there, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, give me some champagne, man. Let me do back some champagne.
Man.
Yeah, man. VIP, how much is the VIP? VIP's $100. Yeah, give me that VIP. Yeah, man, give me 2 bottles, man. Give me them 2 bottles, man. And then you get the fucking thing, and you're sitting there, yeah, right?
Here you go.
And then you're sitting in the VIP, you only got 2 bottles of champagne, and champagne go quick amongst shit. 2 bottles of champagne wouldn't even get off. Yeah. Maybe all of us a cup, right? A cup and a half. All of us out here, 2 bottles of champagne. That'll barely serve all of us, right? 2 bottles. That'll barely serve all of us out here. Like I said, that with 2 bottles of champagne, all of us here, I know at least we all get 1 cup. If that. Maybe a cup and a drag. You know what I'm saying?
Make you mad,
right? Right or wrong?
Make you mad. They gonna make you mad.
But they fake jewelry on, and then just some stupid hoes looking at them. Gotta get it, and them thirsty, greedy, thirsty bitches, and they'll come and drink the shit up, right? You still might not get no pussy when you broke.
And you mad, you take it out on your brother the next day. You hear about it?
Yeah.
Come on, John, what's out?
Yeah.
All right, this is exactly what you said. Proverbs 7:5. It says that they make 7:6. For at the window of my house, I look through my casement. Basically, through these spiritual binoculars that we have, the Lord put us in a position where you can see the buffoonery that you dudes out here doing, man. 2/3 or whatever, right? So it says exactly what he said. And beheld among the simple ones, I discern among the youth a young man void of understanding. You know, and that's what happens, man. You know, it's like void of understanding basically is lacking the scriptures, man. You know, not being what's that movie with Will Smith? Itch. How to get a woman, you know, that's what Jake wanted to turn.
Yeah, how to get a woman. Man, fuck a woman, man.
What are you without this, man?
My dude, listen, I'm gonna say it again, which we have said in the past. First of all, man, I want some pussy that bad, I'm just gonna buy it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like Apostle Paul says time and time again. Right? Yeah.
That was it.
So that's dangerous right there.
And I gotta say something, Apostle. Like the average man and woman will get offended at that statement, but in all actuality, when you get with a modern woman, that's really what you're doing, man. Like you get with a modern woman, you paying for it anyway, man. That's why, you know, you got all these different platforms where, you know, Jake has started standing up now and pretty much reiterating the same thing, how traditional marriage is not meant for the modern woman, man. Because the modern woman has been debased to a harlot. All right, so y'all get offended
at a statement where a man say he'll pay for it, but you do it anyway. And you come out on the shorter end of the stick, doing it long term, man. When she, if you up mentally, take all your money, and then leave you with nothing. You got it.
Amos 7:17. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city. You know, so the modern woman is a harlot. Like you said, you might as well pay the short payment because it's like a cell phone. You ever like the Boost Mobile, T-Mobile phones? You can just pay it, and if you don't pay it, they just turn it off. But the AT&T phones come with contracts and shit, $120 a month, 2-year contracts. That's all the modern day situation is with a woman. It's like an AT&T contract. You might as well get the T-Mobile $60 shit, man.
Yeah, or Jordan.
Prepaid, huh?
Prepaid, man. That's what I was looking for.
Hey, if you got it, if you got the money, go for it. Like, there's no law saying the brother can't get expensive stuff. If you can afford it, I mean, for us, and the truth, if a brother can afford to pay $300 Jordans, by all means, go for it. If you can afford it, hey, you work. That's your money, hey, man. You know, as long as you pay your tithes and do the right thing with your money, you can buy whatever the fuck you want.
But Jay said, Elder, it ain't tricking if you got it.
Yeah. If it's in your means, then you do so. But if you know you really can't afford it, why not just get an $80 pair of nice Nikes or something? Come on, man. There's a lot of nice. I mean, shit, $80 is expensive, really. But like you say, well, fuck it, man. These Nikes over here are like $85. Fuck it, I'll get these. Because if I get these, you know, and they high, I'm okay. You can find some nice shit. You go to the outlet, right? But nah, I'm judged. But then you broke. The brother, you broke, and then you gotta come ask some brothers for money. Shit like that. You gotta hit the kitty or whatever. You know what I mean? That's not cool, right? I mean, brothers are gonna help, but then hey man, you know, you gotta use wisdom, man. Trying to be why for show. That's worldly. You know what I mean? But yeah, that.
All right, let's go back to Amos 7:17. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, thy wife should be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword. Like the brother Kazak was saying, the modern woman is basically a harlot. So that's why, I brought that out. It's like, it's taboo to say that you'll pay for something. It's taboo now. But basically, the modern woman is a harlot. So you might as well get the, brothers going to the prepaid thing.
Well, see, like my man Samuel said, these modern women, they want to be modern, Lieutenant O'Hara on Star Trek. I'm flying a spaceship.
Yeah.
But when it comes to case in point, relationships, they want you to be a traditional old school man.
Yeah.
Case in point, that bitch with the rockhead is one man. You get a bitch like her, you could tell by her walk, she's a modern woman. Yeah. I'm independent, I can make my money. You know, it's sass. But let's say you meet her, and okay, you get her number. And then you're gonna tell her, we're gonna go out, let's go out. You take her in there. You better believe your ass better be paid. They said it. You better believe you paying. You tell her,
staring at you.
oh hell yeah, when the bill comes, yo baby, we're gonna go Dutch. She might hit you with the fucking, stab you with a fork.
There was a bitch who sued somebody over a bad date. Like, this place is crazy, man. Y'all didn't see that? Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, bitch sued over a bad date, man. Bitches, they head fucked up, man.
You the
they
man.
probably dildo head.
Yeah. See, but that, when it comes to that, you're the man. That was the whole thing Sam was talking about. If you're a modern woman and we go out on a date, then won't you pay for it? Right? Hey, won't you pay for the meal? You're a modern woman, you're making money, you're making money. Hey, baby, won't you pay for the date? I got the money to pay for it, but won't you pay for it? Remember, it's 50-50, modern, the old thing, all that. They want to throw all that in and go, no. When it comes to, oh, well, you're the man. Won't you? You're supposed to pay for
Now
the
you
meal.
want me to be a gentleman.
Yeah.
Now with all that independent shit.
You see a stupid bitch in her tire. Bitch, get out and check that motherfucker out and change that tire.
Get up
independent, right? You independent
I'm
shit.
saying, no, them old days are gone. Now they got AAA and all that, you know?
Yeah.
But yo, the climate is going to change. They're going to call the cops. The cops ain't going to come. The cops are going to start raping. You got cops out here pulling women over, raping them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Cops. Forensic files.
Yeah, I seen that.
Seen that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you stalking that bitch, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Put it to death.
put her to death. Yeah. He was trying to get some.
He was trying to get, he liked her.
And she fought that. He pulled her over.
Yeah.
You know, in the SWAT car and everything.
All that,
He was already stalking her.
Yeah.
Because she would drive home that same night.
Right, that same route.
See, which once again, that's why this world out of order. Your woman shouldn't, she worked in a bar. If everything was in order, your woman ain't gonna be out late at, look, any woman that's out late at night by herself and things happen to you, you get what you fucking deserve.
They were living in the ghetto abroad.
Thank you. Yeah. If you would, but then they'll say, well, something happened to you in the house. Yeah, but the more likelihood is gonna happen out in the street. If you in your house, okay, and you got weapons in your house, and you got your house and your windows and everything secured, you have a better chance than you just a stay-at-home person. Yeah, somebody can home invade you, but then that's why, hey, you know, a woman, I'm saying, I believe that each woman, especially if you're a single woman, you should have a weapon in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Can I make a quick point?
Yes, sir.
No, just going back to the scriptures, you know, Isaiah 32, where it says, rise up, ye women that are at ease, and you mentioned single women who stay by themselves. The Most High set up a snare for the woman in the time of Jacob's trouble, because the worst thing to be in the times to come is really a single woman who stays by herself. That's the worst thing that you could really be, is a woman, you know.
But I'm gonna tell you something now. Now these hoes are looking for men. That's why they was calling Kevin.
Yep.
I'm saying that. So there's a lot of single black women out there. But now they looking for men, because you know what? They got demons on them, but they ain't got that much demons on them. They kind of see the climate. They see what's happening out here. Shit is getting crazy. So they get nervous. They are, these women, they get a little nervous. They are getting a little, and then what? With all that modern shit, you want a man to protect you. And if you walking with a woman and some dude jump out with a gun, you expect that man, look, baby.
Yeah. They'll get throw you in that position. You just gonna let them talk to me like that? I'm the only man out here, and you got about 17 dudes over there.
Oh,
You gotta get your ass in this car and let's go.
Yeah, I did a video on that shit. Yeah.
Keep reading.
No, I was gonna back you up.
Okay, yeah, I just read it right quick.
Yeah, like that song, right? I keep one of my favorite songs. What's that nigga?
Isaiah 32 and 9.
What's that nigga name? There's someone for everyone.
Carl Thomas.
Carl Thomas.
Oh, okay.
We're not Carl Thomas. Dave Hollister. You know that song, that Dave Hollister song? It's been funny running into you. Yeah, getting that Dave Hollister. These niggas in that Dave Hollister spread.
Lord, give us a little more time.
Yeah, brother.
Isaiah 32 and 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear to my speech. I know you said you're going to build on this. Let me keep going.
Well, yeah. This basically the point when you was elaborating on, what you were saying, like, making the point about the single women.
Yeah.
All right, Isaiah 13 and 11, the point is in 12. To back it up. 11, verse 11, it says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud, ye arrogant women, to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness, you haughty women of the terrible. And backing the brother up, verse 12, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
And let's go back, let's go straight to the elect man, because the Most High is going to give us a hedge, and so the women that are with us, they're going to have a hedge. So ultimately, the elect man is going to be, he's going to be more precious than fine gold, man. Right. And it's the build on this scripture you just brought out, Isaiah 32 and 2. And a man should be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land.
Should I say something?
Yep.
Basically, like you said, you know, the Israelite man of the elect, he's gonna have the hedge, you know, by Yahweh Shemel Shai. So the man gonna be the hedge for the woman. Yeah. So all that independent shit, I can do bad by myself. We gonna see, bitch. Cause you gonna have to, you really gonna have to be out here defending yourself. And basically, and it ain't gonna end well. Even Esau, Edom, they'll show you in certain movies, you know, the woman, you can't do it by yourself. They showed you the movie The Road. You know, that man, he was like a doctor, wasn't he?
Yeah,
That's a hell of a...
And that's the only reason why he lasted so long.
Yeah, but pretty much, but he, you know, he kept his faith, so to speak.
His woman lost it.
Yeah, but she just walked out in the cold and died. Lamentations 4, start at 1 and 2. How has the gold become dim? How has the most fine gold changed? Yeah, the sons of God, we lost our power, man. You know, where that gold that became dim. Basically, they became degenerates, became niggas or Gentiles. You know, that you read about in the New Testament, man. You got the stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. This is the point right here. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as the earthly pictures, the work of their hands of the potter. Right, and that's how we were before we woke up. But see, now we're becoming that fine gold again. Right. The scriptures say, then shall they be known who are my chosen. All right, so we're in a time where the Lord is going to defend his men. Basically, you know, great favor is going to be shown to the elect. Everybody going to see it too. And the woman going to see it. And just because the woman fine, that's not going to give you an immediate pass.
Oh, that's done. That's true.
Yeah. It ain't going to be about looks. What can you bring to the table?
Like homegirl, she you know, with the little pickaninny. She had the big fat ass. That ain't gonna mean shit. The times because if a man wanted, he's gonna take it and kill you, take whatever resources you got. That's those we coming into those times. Men are gonna prey upon the other men, and it can happen just like that if the lights go out.
It's gonna literally be booty in that day, It's gonna literally be booty in that day, huh?
Yeah.
Literally.
When you get Isaiah the 4th chapter, they tell you that the women's gonna come to us, but they're gonna say we will bring our own bread and water. They're gonna bring something to the table, man.
Hey, I had the brother hold something. You just said it. Hey, get that word asset right quick.
This is the definition of asset on Google.
Yeah, you can get it.
A useful or valuable thing.
Wait a minute. In the time in Isaiah 4, a woman's gonna have to make herself an asset. Like the brother said, it ain't gonna be just about, oh, she thick. Now she's gonna have to be an asset to you, man.
Right. Yeah, because in that time, see, man, we talking about men always tall brothers. That time comes when these women fuck these women. You ain't gonna be thinking about these women. Pussy gonna be the last thing on your mind. You're gonna be thinking about trying to get some food, survival, shelter. A woman is gonna be a hindrance.
Yep, a liability.
A liability, man. Like here it is, motherfuckers. You might be, you know, having to sneak through the woods or sneak through the city, and you trying to. Yeah, I knew she are slowing you down.
The pussy gonna stink too.
Yes.
They're gonna do all them bad.
Yeah.
That's gonna be another reason why you ain't gonna be chasing these.
Yeah, they're gonna be slow. No, but they're gonna slow you down. Even now, want to slow you down, man.
It starts now. You got men in that pussy bandit mode, man.
Yeah.
A lot of chicks in that. You got Jake look like you remember the Hamburglar?
Gun.
You got the whole shit on. You out here just chasing women.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all ever seen the comedy skit with Mike Epps. He call himself the company. Yeah. You out here like that. It's alright. Yeah, it's like Jake.
Yeah, Jake is out. Man, he's coming up with those niggas. Even now, a woman slow you down. You travel with your woman. Like, you know, like driving the, you know, a little cross-country trip with your woman, you got to fucking stop. I gotta pee. My makeup. Can you stop? I stretch my legs. I'm hungry. I gotta pee.
Hey, my makeup, my hair is up.
So here it is, a 3-hour trip. Cause like, yo, man, I've done it. I've driven pee. Yo, man, like, I might stop, pee, and then this whole, you know, I have to piss once, maybe twice, but I'm making time. You gotta stop with a woman. You gotta stop each hour or each and every other 40 minutes. You gotta stop. You're trying to make time. You're like, I have this bitch with me now. You know? Come on.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways that which destroy kings.
That was America throw at you, man. I guess debate. They made the woman the prize. Psychologically, you niggas think that that's the be-all, end-all. That's, you know, so go, you tricking off, good weekend. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, because it's a psychological. That's why the scriptures promote wisdom, man. It's an intellect, you know. That's what it really is. The approach to this is psychological. Like, we all still growing. That's why we got elders and apostles. Spirit get on them to give you share stories. Like, damn, that shit true. You know what I'm saying? So it's all a learning curve, you know. That's how wisdom. I was looking at that. What this say? That's wine right there. What this say is that? Wine. Wise. I was there. That's the spirit, yeah. So I was watching it, you know, the whole time. The color, like, damn, that's everything. Yeah, that was it. Looks like you got no good.
Yeah, like a bar you said, when it said kill was king.
Yeah.
King Solomon.
King Solomon,
Yeah.
Adam was a
Adam,
king
that's
too.
another one, exactly.
Adam had a rulership.
Oh yeah, Adam was.
So when the serpent came up in there, what happened?
Let me get
He
that.
went through the woman,
yeah.
and basically he went down here.
When he hit him in his weak points, his woman.
Right, the woman. That's why the scripture states, when it talks about your wits, that's going into your mental capacity, your intelligence. So when you jump up to 1 Ezra 4 and 26, it talks about how a man will love his woman way better than father and mother, meaning what? He falls in love with it, and therefore you lose your wits.
Yeah.
You know?
You got Samson, man, who literally pretty much gave Delilah his strength, man.
Yeah.
Tell him where it lied in his locks, man.
And through the spirit, I think that's what happened to Adam and Eve. I think Eve just kept bugging him and kept bugging him, and eventually he went.
Yeah. Adam just didn't outright.
Yeah.
He probably had good sex with him. Fed him his favorite meal, his favorite wine, and kept bugging him.
In his ear.
And in his ear, probably giving him good sex.
Yeah.
You know, stroking his ego, and he got weak to it.
Real talk.
Yeah, just like Samson. You know, the woman kept bugging him, you know what I'm saying, day after day, day after day. You know, laying literally in his lap, next to his spirit.
Yeah.
So ultimately he just gave in and gave her what she wanted.
You know, it's for everybody.
Yeah. She was for the streets, man.
Y'all just man.
I got a little precept. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, this is Malachi 3 and 17. And they should be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day while I make up my jewels.
Hey, and that's why you have to have an intimate relationship with the Most High. Intimate means what? Familiar. How do you become familiar with the Most High? Through fasting, praying, and reading. You know?
And the word jewels right here goes into like a value property. It also goes into peculiar treasure. So through the spirit, the Lord's Most High chosen men, those are true high value men in this society, man.
Because the scripture said to study and show thyself approved. And the only way that you can exercise yourself in a beneficial factor towards something is to spend time with it. You know? And that's why the scriptures is compared with the Holy Spirit, wisdom, knowledge, understanding of Yahweh Hashem Hashah, right? It's like compared to his fervent lover. Because when you fervently love something, you're giving it your all. You know? And that's why discipline, well, wisdom tries to with the discipline.
Right.
You know?
Right. So you're supposed to fall in love with the Most High. What the scripture states on how the Most High, we love him because he first loved us. That's our true first love.
Well, wisdom. Remember Solomon said the rest of
Yeah.
the breast have something about the word.
We're supposed to get into it, man.
And so through the spirit, this is that woman we're supposed to put first.
Yeah.
But our people took that literally and put the actual nigga woman first. What's that singer name?
Zahid. You know what happened to him when he said,
Well, that was a mistake of Adam. That was the mistake of Adam.
It was part of the curse.
Yeah.
The woman shall get above his very eye.
That's like a blot stain on our legacy. God, that's one of the ways the Lord showed he got it out here.
Yeah, finish yours.
Back in Malachi 3 and 17, and they should be mine, said the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels.
Where are those jewels? Brother Yakima just read that, you know? The stones of sanctuary, pour it out.
Value property. And I will spare them as a man spares his own son that served him.
That, to add to that, yeah, because you're going to get bad out here, man. Yeah, oh, like I brought out earlier, that's Ophir. Ophir is in America. That gold was found, the Ophir go into America. Dr. Hop went into that. So, yeah, that proves that at the climax of all hell breaking loose on being Babylon. That's why you're going to find out why it's known as it's referred to as confusion. We just say it now because in the spirit, but you're going to see confusion at a high level. Yeah, it's going to manifest itself in its perfection. That's why the only ones going to escape will be rooted and grounded amidst all the turmoil, tornadoes, shit coming at you. You know, the wind, the whirlwind, shit coming at you from every angle.
Can I say something for Quan?
Yep.
We're the only ones that welcome it. Everybody else running from it, pretty much. We welcome it because it's prophecy.
Yeah, well, no, it's another day, man. We want the destruction. It's going to be regular, but so what? You got, so we can get out of here, so we can stop existing like this. On this low, fucked up level, man.
Oh, can I say too, Apostle, let's show you how fucked up that's why, like, Apostle, we're going to fuck you up. It gets to a point where you ready for a destruction to get out of here. Let's show you how fucked up the situation we are, the affliction, that continual stroke of oppression, that shit intense. Like, Elder Tazawan, he sent me a link about how the slave trade and different treatments of the slaves, ill dealing, treacherous acts, it affected the babies and shit.
Like, it's traumatized.
Yeah.
Post-traumatic slave.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to, like, Israel, I want to say black, but not even just all the tribes. All the tribes are traumatized. Right? Yep. Remember, we all suffered trauma. So that's why Negroes, Hispanics, and Natives are fucked up, fucked the fuck out. Because Jake is traumatized. They're traumatized. They're traumatized by slavery, by the white man stealing the land. You know, the conquest of
Stockholm syndrome and all that.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome, man.
Real quick, since you said that, Jeremiah 30 and 12. For thus saith Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. So, and what is that wound? Is slavery.
Yeah.
And like you was bringing out, you was post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Right.
It's a generational trauma, which is the result of slavery, like the apostle was going to.
And Esau never made it right.
Yep.
They never made it right? They just let Jake go. Right? But then you were still slaves, but you were just allowed to wander. That's all it was. You know, they still was killing Jake, still was oppressing Jake. Right? It wasn't until the fucking civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s, let's say 100 years after slavery, that they finally started actually so-called giving Negroes rights. Right? But you still, it's so-called. What was the first? Oh yeah, okay, you can sit and eat with us. You can sit at the stool with us with the dining, nigga. Okay, you don't gotta ride in the back of the bus. The back of the bus is the best part of the bus. Right? It's cooler back there, you know, nobody bothering you. Right? Oh nigga, yeah. You wanna come to the movie theater? You come to the movie theater, sit next to me with ticks and fleas flying off my and lice flying off my dirty white ass. Right. You want to go up in the bar? Okay, I'm going to use the same bathroom. Okay. You want to drink from the same water fountain as me, nigga? Okay, go ahead, nigga. Jake was like little kid. Let's do it right there. We want to come behind. Okay, nigga. You want to drink from the same water fountain as me, nigga? Go ahead. Drink from the water fountain. Right? Get some shit in your mouth from my dirty, nasty ass. Right? Right? Get fucking herpes from drinking behind the water fountain. Herpes on your lip. Yeah, nigga, you want to get that? Go ahead, nigga. Yeah, you can drink behind my water fountain.
They proud to have it.
You want to go to the bathroom behind me, nigga? Okay, nigga, go ahead. Yeah, take. You know, like you give your little kid one, like, here, take. You got that good love. Okay, nigga, you want to go behind and sit on the same toilet as me and get AIDS? Go ahead, nigga. Right? See what I'm saying? These guys are dirty.
I can just say this, the little independence we had, we lost it when we got linked up with him, when we got integrated with him. The little independence that we did have, we were separated. We don't have that anymore when we got integrated with this man.
Think about it, man. The white man is dirty. They're really dirty, nasty, filthy people. They stink. Okay, they smell like wet. I know I lived in New York City for years. You get in a subway train, it make you want to throw up. It smells like wet dog. Okay? I've been in buildings, in office buildings, see the cracker with the suit and tie, even they're taking a dump, and they'll come out and just walk right out, don't want to wash their hands. Yeah. You know what? Right there, you wash your hands. They're going to shake your hands.
Yeah.
You know, like, you see, Esau like to touch.
Yeah, you do.
You know? Yeah, baby, they want to put that vibration. They want to suck Jake's vibration. I don't like when anybody touch me. They just fucking touch me.
That's all they do, man.
It's the new thing now, man. How you doing, man? I'm right. Try to make certain shape. I gotta kind of know you to kind of give you a, but other than that, like, what's up?
No open hand contact.
Yeah.
After even like you see them in traffic, they digging in their nose and shit.
Yeah, they digging up their ass, scratching their balls. That's why I always say this. For breakfast is to keep sanitizer in your fucking car. But for real, that's true, man. Fuck the other. When you want the coke, hey man, you go to think about this, man. I'm serious. Keep a sanitizer in your fucking car, wipes. When you out here, you go in the store, and you get back in your car, before you start touching, sanitize your hands. Anything you do, I'm serious, man. Keep sanitizer in your car, man. You know, hand sanitizer. Yeah, bro. You go to the gas station, touching that fucking pump. It's a nasty, stinking dick. Jake, too, it's dirty. Motherfucker probably digging right up in their ass.
You know it.
And touch the damn thing. Then you go and touch it. Yeah. Even these handles, man, people checking up their shit, man. Picking their nose, some nasty, filthy reprobate people out here.
It's a known fact that germs are spread.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, tonight when we close up and go to the gas station, see if you get if y'all got anybody y'all got sanitizer. Get some sanitizer, put it in y'all cars tonight. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Bun, that's the first stop. You're going to hit a gas station. It goes up camp. That's going to be the first little thrill. Keep that in your car. Little bottle of sanitizer, man. You know what I mean? Yes.
They sell them when you put them on the keychain.
Yeah. On my truck, man, my pickup truck, I got a big one. You know, I look in the car, square it up. I keep it right behind the seat. Yeah.
I just pretty self beg all y'all combination, all y'all brothers, y'all liking it. You know, basically the men of the Lord to the goal, to the flying goal is this Proverbs 8, and I started on 9. The point gonna be in 11 as well. Let's see, it says 8. It says all the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing froward or perverse in them. They are all plain to him that understands, and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my instruction and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. So that goes to show we talk about gold and silver and different special, precious stones, whatever this is being spiritual, man.
Yeah. That was even the guy in the end of the movie Indiana Jones, the King of the Crystal Skull, he was like, knowledge is their treasure.
Right, you know, and that's what we hold fast to. That's what's gonna keep us surviving. And y'all out here starving, all these different examples, from the apostle to the rest of the icon pushed out there, y'all gonna be on the negative end of those things. Y'all gonna be on the receiving end of those things. Why? Because you act these essentials. Okay?
Yeah, because like if I may, wisdom a resource. It's a resource. It trumps anything that one might deem to have any value. But livestock, gold, diamonds, wisdom, because it produces life. Everything everybody label and toil for is really to live. It's a true asset. Yeah, it's a true asset. What's that Ecclesiastes? Ecclesiastes 12? Ecclesiastes 12, that's it. Yeah, somebody can get that. 12. What's that? We'll end with that. Okay, come on.
You want me to pause right quick?
Finish out yours.
All right, so it says, receive my instruction and not silver. So the Lord's instruction is more than silver.
Yeah.
The knowledge rather than choice gold. You got it, right?
Nah, basically, when you look at the two top nations on earth, you know, this movie is revolving around Jacob and Esau. Basically, it's all about a reset. You know, Edom got his reset, and the Lord got his reset. And this damn devil, with him, gold not gonna mean nothing. The dollar definitely not gonna mean nothing because they about to go fully digital. And when with the Lord, he reset his people with this knowledge, man. You know, so that's it. You know, because and you gotta have to choose one or the other. You know, you got it, bro.
All right, verse 11. It says, for wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to them.
It breathes life. That's right. It's going to preserve you. And from the said perils, there's Isaiah 33.
This is big. You got it. Exactly what I say. Verse 12. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions. Exactly what the brother said, man. It's not Esau here doing all kind of witty inventions, man. All these different wild.
They're cloning creatures and animals. Yo, man, they're trying to, man.
And feeding it to you.
Yeah.
Whoa. See, even the way they, we were just talking about
men into women, women into men, that's the Babylon juice. And Israel, primarily, the 2/3 are drinking it down. You understand? They're drunken with it.
Hey, well, with that, hey, we hope you brothers were edified. And I just want to say, you know, through the spirit of power, how about some outside, you know, we do have the Louisiana brothers here. We got the Birmingham brothers here. We got the Honorable Elder Apostle Kai here. Am I missing somebody? Okay, I said Louisiana. No, that's all good. Hey, but with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
Double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of great millstone rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Abba, Abba.
Shalom.
How about my sharp like thumb? Shalom.
Shalom.
We got a what do you call it? Appointment?
Reservation.